right now is a very challenging time, and I think some of that is just if you look at it, it's kind of like, what am I trying to say? Like, there's a lot going on in the national media. I think some students come here now, you might even have your own bias against police. We often hear that from students that they don't like police, they don't trust police, they don't want to be around police, and so that's an instant barricade that we as university police have to kind of break that down so that we can build partnerships and trust and have relationships with students and clubs. Because obviously if people come to us like that and they're not comfortable around us, then we got to try to find a way to make them comfortable around us. Because honestly, I've met a lot of students who may have never even had an interaction with university police, but they're not comfortable with university police. Like I said, that just could come from past experiences, maybe how you've been raised or taught by your families. Maybe because they're in uniform, maybe because they're carrying a weapon, maybe because of something you've seen on TV. And obviously we do enforce rules, laws, regulations. So there's that as well. But back to like our whole philosophy is community policing. So that is why you see basically officers doing these crime prevention programs, and they might be in the union doing that, they might be in the residence halls. So every officer is assigned to a residence hall as the liaison for that building. And their job is to work with the RD and the RAs and come up with different kind of crime prevention, deterrence, and personal safety programs for students. So I guess the way we do it is by getting out of the car. Instead of just the police officers here driving around in their vehicles nonstop, the idea is to get them out into the residence halls, into the union, onto the mall, attending sporting events, attending dances, different things, and just being approachable. Basically, that's kind of how we try to break those barriers down. Some more intentional efforts we've had in collaboration with like the Office of Diversity is Brockport Night Out. That was started a couple of years ago. We've had 2 of those. Because one of the more challenging things we've had is building trust in the relationships and the confidence with students of color and students that are not represented as well on campus. So we've been trying to intentionally have something like Brockport Night Out, have something that maybe certain students aren't comfortable with going to, some of the other community policing programs, and going to them, making an intentional, effort to meet with the men of color or any organization for that matter on campus, and honestly, I think it's been going better because a lot of the clubs and organizations have also been reaching out to us, because this really is a two-way street in all this. University police can want to do all that, but there has to be someone on the other end of that handshake, right, or that conversation. So it's really always, it takes 2 people to collaborate, right, not just one. So really it's about getting students to see us as approachable, to invite us to their things, so that we can go to them, so that we also know that we're comfortable there, that you want us to be there. Because we don't necessarily just want to force ourselves on people either. So one of our efforts with the community relations is really to try to open up the dialogues with students, and there's going to be a focus on the underrepresented groups and students, the students that don't feel that they're comfortable or maybe that have the least amount of trust with university police. So I've met with a lot of the student leaders, like I said right now, that are seniors through BSG, through the men of color, and in the women of color, and really trying to get those groups on the committee so that they can have some input, you know, and they can also help me with, like, if there's things going on that I might not be aware of, they can let me know, like with the climate of the campus, how students are feeling. Because I think what happens sometimes is there's these little things that happen throughout a semester, and it's just this little thing, and it's just this little thing, and this little thing. And then as time goes on, though, the fourth thing happens, and all of a sudden it becomes it might even get blown out of proportion. But what it really is it's something building up, right? We tend to rely a lot on resident directors and resident assistants, the RAs, to help us, like, hey, what's a program that you want to do in your residence hall? And usually they give us an idea and then we do it. But, like, I guess with trying to be more diverse with our programs, it's like, okay, but what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Like, get more ideas, and get those ideas from the committee that is going to be very diverse and represent all different groups. So, because to me that seems like an easy fix. Okay, you want a program on what to do when stopped by police. Okay, so let's set something up in the union or in your residence hall and get a couple officers there and provide that program for you. You know, that was something I heard, is that, like, students didn't really feel like they had a way to voice their concerns when they feel like they've been wronged by university police. But I think that part of the committee in getting that out there to students so that they know that they do have something. There is a way that you can hold police accountable. You can absolutely report misconduct to the chief. You can report it to anyone on campus, but I mean, there is a direct line of communication